Hello and welcome
Hello there.
to the 4th episode of Recipe
For
Disaster. I am Pat,
This is still Ray.
and we're back, aren't we?
Yet again, after all these years, as usual,
Do you see anything different?
there might be a change of scenery.
There is. We moved our venue of recording to my place.
Maybe temporarily, maybe permanently. Who knows? I mean, a microphone itself is
The same.
a mic is the same, and fortunately, it is movable. It wasn't bolted down.
Let me tell you, it was not the most expensive microphone in the market.
I mean, it was expensive enough to
Record sound.
think twice about it. But I mean, Pat here just one day called me and, hey, I bought the mic and I'm coming over, and I said,
Who are you?
why are you calling me? And yeah, and here we are at Pat's place now.
So it might be a little...
I see the map of our country.
Oh yeah, our country. What country is that, I wonder?
I do not know, and but we will reveal it in our 10,000th episode.
Oh yeah.
Until then, you can have a guess. The hint is that it's in Europe.
The best hint is that I don't know if that's public knowledge, but the most of our listeners are from our own country. Plus one person from a bot from Bangladesh, I imagine.
I don't know. Maybe it was an actual person, But yeah, for some reason, all of our podcast big fans are from our own native country. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just our parents.
10,000 times over. Yeah.
So, if you hear any planes flying overhead, then that's just because planes are flying overhead. I mean, it's
That's just NATO,
it's just how we live.
That's life.
That is life. So speaking about life, how have you been?
I mean, in general, it's been summer, as we also discussed in the last episode. I'm on my school break or school hiatus for the summer. Been just chilling, playing some RuneScape. I recently picked up Heroes of Might and Magic 3 again.
Mm-hmm.
A blast from the past, a game from 1999, and it apparently still has a lot of players alive, like thousands even.
Has it had a remake or something, or is it the same?
We do play the modded version of it. Called Horn of the Abyss or something like that.
So they changed the name.
Well, the expansion name basically.
Okay.
I mean, a base game is still mostly the same, but it still adds like a new town, some balance things. It fixes or it makes the graphics a bit more HD, so to say. You can resize your window. I mean, it's modernized version of the old Heroes 3.
I think one of my favorite games I've ever played also comes from 99. It might have been 98. I don't think it was the 2000s. Arcanum. It's an RPG with a really good storyline, but it's fairly broken. The combat mechanism isn't exactly balanced, and there are a lot of bugs and a lot of faults and glitches, and you can get stuck in a lot of places. But the story I really liked.
The story is impeccable.
Oh,
so good.
As if Tolkien had written it.
Wow,
That's compliment, isn't it?
That's very high praise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite games, and it would be amazing if that had some sort of rework, like for example modern graphics. But maybe it would ruin it. I'm not sure.
I mean, there might be a version of it that's
You think?
modernized. I mean, it was the same with Heroes 3 for myself. I had played it like I'd only have played the old version before, but some of my friends discovered that it was on sale on Good Old Games, GOG.com, and there was a very active modding community, mostly from Eastern Europe as well.
Well, of course.
So Polish people and Russians and Ukrainians and...
Go figure. All right.
I mean, I think the game had a lot of popularity in Europe and especially Eastern Europe as well back in the day, because it has always been a very like a low maintenance game in the sense that you don't need like a super PC to play it. It's very simplistic yet very like complex at the same time. And for me personally, it also has like a huge nostalgia factor as well. So, but yeah, other than that, RuneScape, Heroes 3. In real life, I haven't done much. I mean, I went to the countryside. I got to use some machinery to destroy local vegetation, but only for aesthetic purposes, as all humans do, right?
All right.
They just like to destroy nature. Okay, jokes aside.
We hate nature.
No, I love nature, and one of the big pluses of the countryside is that there are forests.
Yeah, sure, man.
And I mean, there's nothing better than going into a forest, just sitting down on a log and just doing fuck all.
And drinking, because that's the countryside kind of invites you to drink.
Yeah, I guess, but it also depends on the company, you know. If you're there with some of
your drinks,
my drinks, and that's all there is. No, I mean, it absolutely depends on the company and what you yourself are used to. So yeah, I just drank a lot of fresh spring water, and yes, very healthy, very big health. I feel revitalized, not really, but yeah. Other than that, I've been the usual.
Your pH.
My pH
is finally in balance.
Debatable, but yeah. I mean, it's towards the positive side at least.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I still have not gotten the fishing pet.
I was going to ask you about that.
After all these years, I'm up to 23 and a half million XP.
23 and a half, all right.
And I have nothing to show for it.
Well,
at least I managed to do some Temporas. I learned a new mini game, and I got the fishing barrel to increase my FK times, and that's been a blast as well.
Well, yeah, it like doubles the amount of fish you're able to carry.
Yeah, I can fish two inventories and AFKing in RuneScape and playing Heroes 3 is a match made in heaven. It's absolutely perfect, man. The turn times in Heroes and the AFK timers in RuneScape, they match perfectly. I don't know.
All right.
Who would have guessed?
That's an idea. Wait, tell me again your method of AFK fishing.
Haram ones.
Okay.
Same old. And I also surpassed 100,000 fished. So my stack of Haram ones is now white. Which is...
I don't know what to say to that. That's racist, man.
I used to drop all of them. Like for the first the first 20 30k Heron buns I dropped, but and I thought, hey, I mean, if I'm not gonna get the pet anyway anytime soon, then let's make a collection.
Wait, is it just for these particular items, or any item you collect above 100,000 turns white?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay,
100k stack of anything is white. Yes, just like gold.
Oh yeah, I'm never
100k to 9.99 mil is white. You only get a green stack starting from 10 mil.
Huh?
Just like cash.
I've noticed.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Who would have guessed? After all these years.
All right, so that's where you are.
So that's my very short and long recap of my very interesting life.
Wait, this particular method, what is the average rate of the harem pet? Do you know?
I do not know it by heart, but I get around 600, 700, 800 fish per hour.
Per hour, okay. Because
the rates are up at Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I sadly don't have memorized, Pat. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
sorry to disappoint you, but that still eludes me, that number, after all these years.
No, I'm thinking, like, because I looked at the table recently, I think one of the exceptions, the only weird exception, was the, oh my god, the goddamn fishing trawler. I think
Yes.
on average you needed to do 5,000 rounds to get a shot at the pet, which seems like crazy good. But then again,
5,000 though.
who would do exactly 5,000?
I had to do like 40 for my
Yeah, for your gear,
for
yeah?
the set, and I was dying by like the fifth round or some shit.
I didn't enjoy that.
Well, luckily we both got our
Your gloves, yeah?
as well. Oh man, that was a good one.
Oh,
Man, that was such a good joke, and I'm really glad someone hook it and
is
ran with it.
on the trawler right now looking for the goddamn
Where's
gloves.
my damn gloves? Just like you can get, just like when you're doing arrows and you're super dry for Barrow's gloves, man. That's the fucking drop rate is
Sure.
abysmal in there.
I think Saddle did like over 2,000 in his Mauritania series without getting the gloves.
That is so
That's
unlucky.
just sad, man. That's just sad.
But yeah, enough about me, Pat. How about you? What's the news over at your corner of the world?
Well, all right. As I promised, I have been.
Ooh, a promise.
I have been playing, and I have been sticking strictly to the confines of my country. So I haven't been traveling anywhere. I've been just
yeah.
like.
He's been stuck in his dungeon, grinding away.
And well, I started the. Last time we made a big deal on like we're back. Like, who cares? It was a month. It's been a month after
well.
every episode. So
And who cares, man?
that's the main thing. So after our last episode, I too went to the countryside. We
Oh, sorry to interrupt you again. I just remembered something from
your
my
country.
past month.
Go on.
I left the confines of our country
Oh,
after many, many years.
big money, big travel.
Big travel, big money, and we visited
Don't tell me a
our
neighboring country.
our south neighbor. I'm not gonna name
Doesn't
it.
even count.
It is still abroad,
Oh.
and we actually got flagged down on the highway by border patrol to check our documents.
How sketchy did you look?
I don't know. Luckily, I wasn't driving, so I was just a passenger, and they flagged us down and asked for our documents. I was like, "Oh shit!
What are they?
Is this beer okay?" I have my because we live in the EU.
We're gonna say UK.
No.
You wish. We wish.
Jesus Christ!
Please.
And we haven't had the border control for ages, so
we
it was an interesting exception after all these years to actually show your identification to an official.
Did you go there to buy alcohol?
That was the that was not the end goal, but we did do it.
Of course it is.
But we visited some towns. We saw some local scenery, saw some sights, just chilled. Had a small trip in the car with some friends. Very nice. And eventually we also go to the store where you purchase copious amounts of cheap-ish alcohol and stuff.
And stuff.
Well, it was before Midsummer's Eve, so
Oh, of course then.
so we also had to fill some orders for some acquaintances as well. So, not just us. Oh yeah,
Half
After
of
you,
your,
Pat.
I was gonna say that you needed the alcohol because this year, in a, I don't remember the last time that ever happened. We had a fire ban because it was so dry. It was like a month with no rain.
It was very dangerous to even like
Get angry.
get angry. Yeah,
Or hold your farts because you
can
might
overboil
combust.
like instantly and set everything on fire instantly.
So, I too went to the countryside. One of the friends we went to uni with, Joel, he's kind of semi-moving there now because he finished his like house there.
Yeah.
So I got to live
heard
in
about
the
it, yeah.
I got to live in the sauna when they're in the.
Like on the rocks in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's pretty. Once the skin burns from your back, then it starts feeling all right.
It's nice, you know.
It's fine. Don't get cold. That's
Barbecue.
for sure. Yeah,
Smoky meat. It's my own though.
it's like incense candles.
Yeah, exactly.
Burn flesh.
Burn them all. Slayer. Yeah.
So I was there. I too, like every time I'm there, he comes up with these tasks, these Slayer tasks that I need to do. So this time it was me with a trimmer too. It was like, see that little fucking patch there? Like this hasn't been mowed in like a century. Go wild. So
I
you
also got to use the trimmer this season. That was nice.
have like 3 layers of protective goggles and you're covered from head to toe, and still you manage to see like little bits of grass in like random spots. And
Well, I mean, this year I actually wore goggles, so yeah.
last year you didn't. Oh,
I might not have worn any. Yeah.
I've seen too many traumas with like shit
I know.
flowing into the eye. That's
No,
not
I think last year I wore like sunglasses. They did like offer like some protection, but this time around I actually wore safety goggles,
It's a wise choice, my man.
and they were filled with like specks of like
Yeah.
grass and
It
shit.
gets
that was
everywhere.
Yeah.
Plus, he gave me like a little, no idea even like in our language what it's called. It's like a spinny thing made of hard. I don't know if it's like metal or something. Anyway, it's a spinny thing that cuts metal and produces sparks. It's kind of like welding.
Oh, yeah.
You look at it like someone's welding, but they're not welding. They're cutting metal.
Like grinder, no? Like an angle grinder, or
I guess
what did you use it for?
cutting metal.
So okay.
Cut a bunch of metal. So like I'm really
Heavy
scared.
metal. Or...
Oh.
Oh yes.
No, it was
Power metal. Speed metal.
it was math metal.
Oh my god, I hate math metal.
So now these bits of metal, they're really sneaky bastards because they get like, you can wear goggles, but they just kind of like curve like in a football, and they still end up in your eye. So luckily, it was fine.
All right. And you're still here. So.
I am still, and I see. Sort of. I have my sight kind
Somehow.
of. Yeah.
Still.
For now.
For some reason.
So for a lot of the time I've been geocaching. That's just for reference. It's kind of it's an outdoor type of fairly autistic game which originated in the States in the 2000s, and the essence is that someone goes outside, hides something, uploads the coordinates, and then someone else goes and finds it.
So it's literally like the clues on RuneScape.
Pretty much, except like, usually you don't need to dig, and you don't have any like false agents coming to kill you, but
Depends on the cache, right?
That
might be some dangerous ones in some towns or in some parishes. You know?
there are
Swamp monsters.
there are loads in our swamps. Couple are under the lakes, in the bottom of lakes. Some are sketchy because I've been there have been calls to the police because like someone sketchy is like looking around some building. That's me looking for the cache. So that's what I've been doing for a lot of the time. And for
Officer, there's a bald man with a beard and a knife and a pickaxe.
that's the pickaxe maybe not, but a knife is very useful while you're geocaching.
A rude knife. He has it, guy. Please come fast. I'm dying. He fucking specced me out twice.
He has a skull on top of his head. Like, what the fuck's that?
He has a skull on his shirt and on his hat. And he's bald. Please come fast. Shoot him. Kill them all.
So, and for the past week, I've been on Well, there's no other way.
A raging
to put
bender.
I've been on a bender in one of our islands with my mates. Well, one of my mates from like basic school, like long term time, whatever, long acquaintances, mates. And it's you're in a car. Well, first of all, you wake up. It's like midday. You start drinking. One of us is not drinking. Hopefully, that's the one who ends up driving. Then you're in the car. That's when you like drink.
Remember, kids, don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
That's
It's very bad for your health and for others' health.
for everyone's. Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just fucking sleep it off.
Yeah.
Or fucking walk. Take a bus. Take a train. Just fucking don't do it.
Don't talk to your classmates too after you're 30.
Yeah, that exponentially exponentially increases your chances of dying.
It does.
Yeah.
So, you're in the car, you drink, you get to the accommodation, then the driver starts drinking, then you all drink, and it's a week, and you do geocaching on the site, but it takes a toll. And oh man, I mean, I'm feeling it. One more. Yeah, go on.
That sounds like the quest, the tales of a drunken dwarf.
Come to think of it,
very similar.
That sounds like a lot of the tasks they give you during the quest. It's like, well, this guy doesn't want to talk, get him drunk.
He wants a kebab. Well, then go get it for him. That's. Did you manage to see any country coup d'etat stuff? Some people trying to throw over some governments or some secret armies or anything? No, like some.
Last year when we were on the trip, we sat down with the local, drunk essentially, in front of the local store.
As you usually do.
As you do, and we have a thing with if you want to get drunk cheaply, then you can buy vodka, but it's not actually that cheap if you just compare the drunkenness, and you don't want to get perhaps shit-faced, you just want to get kind of
buzzed.
And if you're willing to tank the taste, then an option is to buy a 2-liter plastic, kind of like a Coca-Cola bottle, but just full of beer. And there's a strong version of it. So we were sitting in front of the local store, and he was there with his plastic bottle, and we were just so inspired that we went to the store and bought our own, and we just drank there. We just sat there and
casually
watched the sunset. It was actually a lovely moment, really.
Yeah, it sounds very romantic,
But if you're referring
in a sense.
If you're talking about encounters, memorable encounters during the time that has gone past from the last episode, then I'm going to show you a picture, because it's really, it kind of speaks for itself.
Oh man, he's going. Oh Lord, he's bringing the phone.
Bear with me.
He's almost back. He's currently scrolling his phone.
So
there are a lot of pictures. Oh my God, nudes. That's not what I want to see. But sure, show those pictures as well. It's fine.
So yeah, give me a second here, man.
I see.
What the fuck is it?
Some skies. Some nature.
Oh yeah,
some
it has
food.
to be on the way back, doesn't it?
I see a picture of a pitched tent.
The fuck is it? Wait. Okay.
I see a tablet of some sorts.
Oh my God. Come on, man.
Guys, he's having some real difficulty finding this picture, guys.
I can do it. I am
He's
strong...
scrolling. Oh Lord, it's happening. And I found it. It's very hard to describe what I'm currently seeing, but is this the man drunk?
No, that's
your friend?
That's what I wish.
To put it lightly, or I see a man with his bike, and on the bike there is a blown up sex doll.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I will correct you on the bike. This is my bike.
Okay, there's a man with Pat's bike, and on the bike there is a blown up sex doll with black hair and a very pink mouth.
So what happens?
Is this your doll? Or
No,
is...
no, I'm not going to claim ownership of this particular doll. What happened here was that I as part of my
plausible deniability. Yeah.
as part of my training schedule, I have to take long bike rides. So they end up taking kind of like, many hours. And I don't have a lot of space to take equipment with me. So I ride on my bike and then I make a planned stop at a gas station, refueling, drinking Coke, eating gummy bears, minding my own
Doing
business.
Coke. No, okay. Drinking. Yeah.
In front of the gas station, sure.
As you do.
As you do. And then kind of like a minivan, like a secret police minivan pulls up, and 6 lads jump out, everyone holding like a soft like a cocktail beer, essentially. It's not proper beer, it's a sweet type of gin mixed with some juice kind of stuff. Anyway, everyone's drunk. So they hop out, and the last guy brings the sex doll, the blown up sex doll. And I was fairly, confused by the thing, and I was trying to take a picture kind of sneakily. But obviously they saw, and then one guy was like, "Well, sir, if you want to take a picture, let me please help you, sir." And then he took the doll and placed it on my bike and almost knocked my Coke over. So
were they like our
yeah,
people speaking our?
They were, yeah. I think they were on a
It
like a
sounds like
stag do.
Yeah, like a bachelor's party.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I got.
That's an encounter and a half.
That's how a sex doll ended up on my bike, and then they wished me fair wind to blow from the rear as I cycled, and they were really nice about it.
That sounded like an end of a quest or some shit as well.
So I do kind of feel like the drunken dwarf after all this.
I mean, you do look like a dwarf a bit as well. So yeah, that's in our nature to happen to be in the right place at the right time. Yeah.
So that was kind of made my ride definitely more bearable and more interesting. So
and now you have a story.
I do, and I have a picture as well. So
that was a very interesting picture.
And in terms of RuneScape, what I I kind of mentioned in the last episode, what I've been trying to focus on and work towards is this whole tick manipulation thing, which I have to say, like, as always seemed kind of scary and kind of like, oh, surely it's like not gonna be for me, like I'm not gonna manage.
Me.
Sure, yeah. So I've pushed it off for a long time, but since essentially I'm in a corner because, like, again, Motherload Mine is not the thing that I want to do all the way up to 99. Nope. So I'm not gonna get past the granite. And in order.
This poor person was backed into a corner, guys. He had no other choice to go full-blown epic gamer moment style. And he just went for it.
So I tried. Like, I took a few days. And I started with fishing because I thought that this was be kind of like an intermediary, I don't know, tutorial, kind of like eased you into it a bit.
This sounds so interesting, guys. Like as it's not an easy mechanic to master in that sense, or to even like start earning, because you have to really get used to the tick cycle, no? And it's funny how we or you speak about this quite of a hard method, like, and I mean, it's an entry style method, you know. It's like intermediary. It's kind of easy, you know.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure I fucked it up spectacularly because I'm using a grimy guam leaf and swamp tar. Yeah, swamp tar. to break the fishing cycle. So I want the 5-tick cycle that takes you to fish, will give you a chance of getting a fish. I want to break it down to 3, and you do it by kind of cheating in between. And the way you do it is you do something else, and I choose Herblore. And if you, there's essentially 2 things you can do wrong. You can either click too fast or click too slow. And getting off the rhythm is either one of these 2. If you click too fast, then you might not break the cycle properly, and it's just kind of like ineffective. But if you're too slow, then chances are that you will end up making the swamp guam tar paste or whatever. You end up successfully making a Herblore thing. So that's
which is like the actual mechanic to actually make the paste.
Yes.
Or
yes.
whatever the outcome is of the
you
process.
can use other stuff, but yeah. So like how badly I fucked up is that I gained, like, whenever you fuck up, you complete the action and you gain a small amount of Herblore experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I fucked up to the amount that I got 9 Herblore levels.
Well, luckily,
Can you imagine
the
that?
levels were in 90 to 99, right?
That was from 20 to 29.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still EHP, free XP,
It's
man.
free XP. I liked it. It's like you fuck up, but you still get experience.
That's nice. That's how it works.
And what I have to say now is that the first day that I tried it, it felt strange. It was like I was kind of like, yeah, I should have known, like, this. What am I doing?
Why am I even here?
Yeah, kind of like, no, piece of shit. No, not really. The next day was kind of better, to the point where I understood the carpal tunnel stuff. Like, I had to switch, hands at one point. It's really interesting, like, kind of getting the hang of something manual and then switching hands. It's kind of like learning all over again. It was fun.
And when you do a very very active method, and then you feel that your hand starts hurting, and you're like, God damn it, my physical meaty body is stopping my process and my progress. Oh, why have you forsaken me, my right hand? Why hast thou forsaken me? Yet again. Every single time my right hand fucking forsakes me, so I don't know what's up with that.
For reference, I'm not thinking of 3-tick manipulation anymore.
There might be some more uses to your right hand, yeah.
Oh my god.
You sick, dirty man.
Oh my god, yeah.
I only solely spoke about video games, my good friend.
Oh, me too, strictly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes without saying,
Oh god. But in the end, I feel fairly fine now. I can say that it's everything has a time and a place, and I'm just glad that if I want AFK, of course I can AFK, just I can always AFK. But if I really want to kind of feel internal pain and anguish, then I do have the option of the
torturing yourself.
Yes,
I mean, 3 ticking should be a torturing method for the fucking CIA or some shit. If you don't mind this granite this instant, you're gonna be fucking executed right now, So yeah.
And I am gonna. This is still like off, but very coming hopefully soon. Is applying it to the granite. And of course, I do get the feeling like I have very, very, very limited experience with PVM and PvP, but everything there seems to require a kind of certain timestamp, the familiarization with the tick cycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think that these skills are kind of transferable. And I guess the biggest thing I learned from my, introduction to the tick manipulation is that something that at first seemed so kind of sketchy and scary and off-putting, because I didn't think that I would be able to get the hang of it, eventually felt fairly good. And I think, well, I hope that I can, apply this lesson to other areas of RuneScape, and why not, like, my life in general. Just like, what I liked about it is that failure still ended up giving me XP, and I think that does have like a...
I mean, that sounds like life in general.
Yeah,
Through
yeah.
failure, we learn something about things and ourselves.
Yeah. And I am like very...
I am legend, you are...
No, I mean, I am
legend, Pat.
very afraid of like failing stuff, but it's just it's taken me so long to kind of manage it and kind of try to get over it, and I'm still like far from getting over it, but it's just nice to have these little instances where it kind of pays off. That's what I really liked about the whole process.
In the first episode, you asked about how RuneScape has affected other assets of your real life. Then this could be a new example that you have learned something about the failure, and through that about yourself.
Sure,
And
man.
you maybe acquired subconsciously some some skills to like cope with failing something, or something that that there might be an actual positive outcome as well too.
Yeah, man, sure.
Yeah.
Because I do think that's applicable to
Just
a wider scope. Sure, man. Yeah.
that's very deep. Apparently, video games can teach you something after all.
Apparently.
It's not only just a mindless CXP, but it's about the friends and experiences we see and make along the way.
Plus, a monumental achievement is that I'm in a clan now.
Oh, yes, sir.
It's I'm in a well, care to give an introduction?
It's very hard to give an introduction to a plan or this situation. I mean, we have like a plan in what are these in English?
Oh my god.
In
Quotation marks.
yes, in quotation marks. In that sense, that it's just a bunch of some dude just went absolutely ham on the bike outside. I wish him well.
Just the sheer joy of getting put the pedal on the
To the
floor
metal.
for like 2 seconds and just
In a living
area.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite things when I hear people outside revving their fucking bikes and their shitty BMW diesel engines under my fucking window at fucking 2 a.m. in the night.
gives them joy, gives them so much joy.
Gives them joy, gives me joy. I just want to hear it. Please do it more. So yeah, the clan called Alaska Forever, which is an inside joke reference to a local comedy show. It's just me and some of my mates and some random other local people that we have just found through the GE.
But how many of them do you know? Because it's like 30 people, I think.
No,
or
it's not that many. Like
20?
maybe 15.
Oh,
20
it's only. Okay,
at most.
All right. Do you know most of them?
No, well, I know like half, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like random local people that we just we saw a name that is in our language, and we were like, "Hey, man, you want to join our clan for some reason? I don't know why." They're like, "Yeah, sure, invite me." And yeah, but I decided to ask Pat as well. Hey, do you want to join our super competitive? We do all the raids, all the PvP. We do everything. We're the best clan in the world. Not really. Hey, just I want to join. And he said,
Of course I wanted to.
and he was in a fucking second, man. And the best part is that I can see all his achievements.
That's what I was gonna say. It's
That's
so
my favorite
embarrassing.
part. Seeing
So
he completed Ernest the Chicken after all these
fuck
years. I was
off.
like, yes, he finally did it. My man, Pat. Oh, I love him, man. He got 50 crafting. Oh, my man. He got 1,000 total after 10,000 years. My man, he's back.
So, because I would be fine.
It's cool though, seeing those achievements.
Fine with the system going like, yeah, Pat has achieved 99 in fucking mining. Go on, but it lets you. It just broadcasts every goddamn
only
quest.
Quests and
Collectibles,
collection log items and skills past like 90 or some shit. We had it
I think
lower.
70 as well, because when I achieved 70 fishing, I think it notified about that as well.
We used to have it like lower, but then we
Changed it.
got spammed a bit with level up messages, and so we.
I think
Maybe it was
70 was also.
Maybe it was 85 or something. I don't know. Well, anyway.
Yeah. But like I would be fine with these, but the quest, and it's because I haven't.
It's nice to see, though.
I haven't been paying attention or focusing that much on the quests. So exactly when it tells you that Pat has completed Ernest the Chicken, I just want to like kind of, and then like someone sarcastic is like, "Well, that's one step towards the quest cape." I'm just like, oh.
But the thing is, Pat. There is a bit tomfoolery about the GZ message, but then again, it's also genuine.
I know, no, but it's
we always, if there's at least 2 people online, we always like the GZ on our like drops or someone dying on the wieldy or something like that. It's
you got your message was well, what Ray has achieved, whatever. Like, what was your fishing fucking experience?
23 million.
Yeah, and Pat has completed Ernest the Chicken. They're comparable, aren't they?
They are comparable at some level.
Sure.
Did you feel an amazing sense of accomplishment? No. Neither did I, Exactly, we're the same, Pat, after all. We are the same. 23 million XP and no pet is very sad. But then again, completing Ernest the Chicken is...
It's done.
It's a fucking hoot. It's a party,
Oh, God.
Fucking open up the vodkas and... what's next on this fucking amazing journey?
Like, the fishing thing really brought the heron pets in general to perspective, because during like the time that I allowed myself to focus and get the the time that I allotted to learning the tick mechanism, during that time I ended up fishing like 14 to 15,000 individual fish. Mm-hmm. So, all right. And before that, I looked up the statistics of the heron pet while doing barbarian fishing, and it was 440,000 fish, something in that ballpark. So if you compare my measly 15K to the 400K, then it's just...
It takes some time.
And you're way past that already.
Am I?
Sure, you must be.
How about we make a small cut here, and
we're gonna play music this time. This is not gonna be just like a fade away with an awkward silence. We're gonna have music.
It's gonna be a fade in, like do 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 do, and a fade out, guys. That's a promise, and it will happen.
Well, we're back.
It seems that we are back yet again, and we have news. We have done the research. We pulled up the articles. We pulled up the sources. We
contacted involved parties.
Involved parties. We had a chat. We had an interview. We emailed. We emailed. We tweeted. We sent some messages out to the wide world. And
what did you find?
We have found that Harriet hit the pet while fishing around once was 1 in 170,000.
So are you over? Are you under?
I am still a bit under. So if we take this new information into account, I have around, I guess like 30K to when I can start the whining that I'm fucking dry. Gag, fix your game. I'm so dry, guys. I have fished for
millions of EXP.
But how long have you fished there for? Ever since from 65?
No.
Oh no, because you
No,
were
no.
hired then. Yeah.
I've only done this from 99.
Okay.
I did most of my fishing with Hinnows and barbarian fishing, but not retaking. Just AFKing.
Mhm.
So yeah, this has all been post 99.
I can't imagine.
Sounds fun though.
I know we talked about it this last time, but you're still saying that getting pets, well, first from fishing and then from others, is still your main goal.
Yeah, I guess yeah. It's I haven't found anything else that I'd like to do. So yeah, like very slight PVM and pet hunting, I guess, are my main activities nowadays. And what's funny is that I always play on the World 368.
You do, don't you? Why?
I don't know. I started on that server for whatever reason. I am a massive creature of habit, and that world just has become the home for me in that sense. It has no like special reason. I guess I like the number, or I don't know.
Does it have is it a particular world? Does it have a function? It's just
it's just an average world. I think a lot of people from the Netherlands play on it as well, because I see a lot of Dutch people there who speak in their very weird, convoluted Germanish language. Shout out to all our listeners from Holland who I just
yeah.
triggered with the comparison to German. And no, we are not German or from Holland or from the Netherlands.
So that narrows it down.
That that takes out to very big countries from the EU.
Very
so
important.
yeah, I've also always been fishing on the same world at the same spot. So I see people who are also at the same spot day in day out. So I like talk to some people who are also they're like Ironman and stuff like that, and like, hope I still not a pet. I'm like, nope, I'm stuck forever in this hot forsaken hell seventh circle, and they always say like, yeah, okay, man, sure, pet today, it's happening, and
Sweet.
that's been going on for the past 2 months. Pet this day, it's happening. And yeah, it's sweet, you know, and it's like nice to see the same people chilling with you. Sometimes like chatting in there, people talking. You know, it's not like all like only AFK in silence. You know, I very much like the chatting aspect of RuneScape as well, because sometimes back in the day, I just used RuneScape basically as like your fucking chat room or some shit to talk to people, you know.
Yeah.
Like in the GE, in some banks, in like some popular training spots, you just like went there to chill, you know. You just kill some monsters and just fucking talk to people.
You can't really... I hope it doesn't go away. Like, I know efficiency is a huge thing
Yeah, for sure.
in this game, but every once in a while it's still, you know, a good feeling to find kind of random encounters and get to know people outside of your clan, and it's cool.
I have a nice story with that as well. When you mention like these adventures, I for some reason I think I was doing like a medium clue, and I got some like free to play items out of it. So I just thought for the hell of it, I'll just go to like a free to play world into Umbridge and just give my shit to like some random person killing like Hobblers or shit, you know. And there were like two dudes. One of them was in like very basic gear like a fucking chef's hat, just absolutely balling a bronze sword, killing cows and shit. I was like, fuck, that man's a fucking gamer, you know. And next to him, he had like his friend who was a bit higher level and also a member, I think. And they were like chatting about some shit, and I joined in for some reason, just like, you know, talking about things you do in Umbridge, about the Hoblin infestation, the how issue, the chickens, you know, the Duke being a prick, the Al-Harid cards asking for cash every single time, 10 GP, man, that's a lot of money, you know.
What's up with
fucking pure gold, you know. And we got the talking, and then we went on like a sightseeing tour adventure. So me and this other dude just fucking showed us, play around, you know. We went through Umbridge, past the Dark Wizards. He of course got almost killed, which was almost very funny. Then we went to Iraq. We talked about the Blue Moon Inn. This is the East Bank. This is the G, you know, just like an actual sightseeing tour, but in like RuneScape, you know.
Wow.
And then we got to the GE, and there were some other like members which as well, just like chilling, and we were still talking about the sites that we saw, and they were like, "Hey, we want to join your tour as well." So we actually made like a fucking conga line, like fucking 10, 12 people, and we just went through like the G, Iraq, Barbarian Village, Alador. It was just fucking chatting shit, making jokes, you know.
That's wonderful.
Such a fun time, you know. And it went on like for like fucking 2 hours in the night. I was like, what the fuck am I even doing with my time? Apparently, we're playing a fucking tour guide on RuneScape, apparently.
Wow.
But I mean, it was just the fucking genuine human connection somehow. And it was so fun. And in the end, I think we did like a small drop party somewhere, and you know, the usual as you do in RuneScape. I bought some rune armor and shit and just fucking dropped it, and everyone had the blast, you know. Yeah.
Wow.
That's, yeah.
All right. That's very, very nice.
And we ended in Umbridge with the original 2 dudes that we had. And it's interesting to say that, but it was like fucking 4 a.m. or some shit. And I was genuinely sad to leave the company. Because, I mean, we said our goodbyes, good nights, have a nice fucking
life
and shit, yeah. And I haven't seen them ever since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a...
All right.
Man.
That's a story. That's a very good story.
Yeah. And that it shows that there actually are still, like, actual people still playing the video game, not only bots.
Or just really clever bots.
Maybe it was like a fucking ChatGPT powered super bot that actually mimicked genuine human like connection remarkably well, you know. Who knows?
Connection simulator.
Maybe it was the fucking Matrix after all.
Maybe it was.
and I wasn't Neo because I couldn't see it through. Oh man.
Oh, I like that. That's pretty
was,
cool.
Yeah.
Wait, how did we go? How did we get here? Random encounters. Efficiency. That's the search stuff.
Yeah.
That's
You said something about that, like being on an adventure in RuneScape, and this just sprang up this memory in me about some good times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I remembered what I wanted to ask you about before.
Oh yes.
As a little segue, is that like what kind of PVM have you enjoyed, or is it just do you fundamentally dislike PVM, or is it just the kind of more group things that you need to do with co-players, or like what is your whole like thing with PVM?
I'd have to say that I've mostly done solo PVM this far. I haven't much done like TOA or some shit. I've mostly done like Orcath and like Hydra and stuff like that. That only depend on me in that sense. That I do enjoy playing with friends and shit, but I often don't like the feeling that I'm not good enough for them in that sense, or that, and also I'd have to put in actual effort to like learn a new thing in that sense, and sometimes I just can't be arsed, you know. I just CBA.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't the Hydra and the other things you've done also require kind of like pattern familiarization?
Yeah,
it's just
sure,
not like
sure.
AFK. You can't do it. You still need to.
Sure, yeah, but they're still easy enough that they're basically you have to learn a single fight. But in like a raid or some shit, you have to learn like 3 separate fights and 10 mechanics and stuff like that. I mean, it's doable, it's learnable, and especially like TOA or some shit, it's really accessible to basically everyone and anyone if you have like a base of, I don't know, like 75 stats and some decent-ish gear. Like even Iron Man here stuff like rune crossbows and shit can do it on like low invocations that you don't need like a T-bow and like a shadow and max gear, you know. But yeah, it's a lot of the PVM just like seems very daunting to me in that sense. That yeah, it's hard to explain how I feel about it. That I'd really like to do this shit with my friends or even solo, but yeah, as we talked before, through failure and difficulties we learn, but sometimes I don't feel like it.
No, I mean, of course I don't know like exactly what you mean, but I think I can relate because although the PVM thing is obviously like a whole other field in itself, but it was kind of the same with the 3-tick thing, and I know it's just like such a small little thing, but it was such a nice feeling to kind of start getting the hang of it. And if you know that you're gonna fuck up in the beginning, it's completely fine. Then I do hope that what can I say? Like my next goals are still gonna be. I just really like the idea of getting 99 mining and then moving on with my life. I don't feel that I need to achieve 99 in everything to finally be able to play the game. I don't really care. It's just mining, but it's such a task. So I'm gonna be stuck on skilling for a little while still. But then afterwards, I am going to focus more on my combat skills, and then I would love to join in on the PVM content. Start solo, and then hopefully do some stuff with you.
Because, for example, quite an easy group activity is doing Corporeal Beast. That's a very like easy group PVM entry tier stuff. I mean, it does require some gear and some stats to actually damage it. Basically, it has a lot of health, and you have to spec him with the Bandos hot swords and the dragon warhammers to get it's like defense down, which requires you to have like a max house or at least have the pool of restoration that restores other like stats and spec bars and shit. So yeah, Corp is easily doable in that sense. I mean, Bandos or some shit is also quite easy. So in general, you don't need like 99 attack, defense, strength, ranged, and mage to do stuff. I mean, I'd say like I guess the good starting baseline for how much is like, I guess like base 80s, I guess.
That's
which
doable.
Which might sound like, I mean, just get 80 stats. It's just easy, you know. Of course, it will take time, but in
Yeah.
the grand scheme of things, in like RuneScape terms,
It's nothing. That's that bad.
it's yeah,
It's not that bad.
it's AFKable, all of it. If you want in NMZ or do your range and magic, also AFK in like splashing zones or whatever the fuck you want to do.
My magic is almost there, but everything else still needs a lot of work. But it's if you know, if I take that as a goal, then it's definitely achievable. Plus, I've always been a strictly solo player, like a very, very, very solo player. And I guess
you're kind of RuneScape at least, yeah.
yeah, but I've never even had that kind of like, let's say, Counter-Strike experience where you talk to other people,
okay.
right? Like you learned the whole vocabulary of cursing in Swedish on CS, didn't you?
That was a really interesting way to learn the language. Yeah, just play with other people who are from another nationality and learn their like curse words, and suddenly you speak with them.
He speaks perfect Swedish.
Yeah, absolutely. Not.
He can curse the hell out of you.
I mean, I can say some curse words. Yes, I'm not gonna demonstrate them right now because this is still a very Christian.
Oh yes, it's all
non-vulgar podcast where we talk only about
Christian
light topics which do not involve black humor, vulgar language, and
killing minorities
and video games.
Yeah, no, nothing of the sort.
Nothing, absolutely, and never.
So I don't know what he's saying, but it sounds authentic and it sounds bad. So I've never had that. I've never had a headset with a microphone. It's just never was my thing. So even because of that meme, it would be fun to finally try it out.
Sure. Yeah, because for me personally, like communicating while playing video games or like being in TeamSpeak or in like Discord with like other people has always been like a baseline.
Yeah, that's...
Because I remember sitting in Skype with my friends for like fucking hours playing RuneScape or other stuff and like chatting away, and in that sense, yeah, it's a lot of that. I do enjoy also single player and solo gaming as well, but I guess in the recent years video games have also been like a social outlet for me personally. Yeah, like being in voice chat and stuff with mates.
So that's one of the things I am looking towards. That would be fun.
You are very most welcome, my friend Pat.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't always hit on voice. Mostly it happens when we are setting out to do something specific, like PVM in RuneScape or like playing CS or some shit, you know. And then maybe afterwards we stay in the voice chat when we finish like an activity just to chat shit, you know.
Is there now CS2 out? Not yet.
Still in beta.
Okay.
I mean, they are talking about the summer release, but who knows? Who knows, man?
Have you touched Diablo 4?
No. I've only seen it, and I am not. No, I don't care.
You don't care?
The ship for Diablo has hailed for me 10 years ago with D3 released that ship, instantly left, sunk, went to the bottom of the ocean as Titanic and the submersible recently. It imploded, it exploded.
That's hard.
It's gone for me personally. I have played Diablo 2 sometimes when I need the fix, but that fix is fixed for me by Path of Exile when I want to play an ARPG, so which there's gonna be a new league in like August or some shit, but I don't know yet if I'm gonna play it because that the game also has somewhat imploded in the bottom of the ocean for me.
Really? You've sunk a lot of hours there.
Too many to name. But sometimes, you just have enough, Same with CS. I have like thousands in there, but if the game gives me negative feelings even with playing with friends, then I feel that I just rather play something else,
So Path of Exile is I heard it. I think it was from the Wilderness podcast, maybe. It was that when I am paraphrasing. Anyway, the point was that someone wanted to get into a new type of RPG, and he asked the members or the players of the games that he was interested in, is like, what do you think? Like, what would you say to a new player? Was it even worth getting into?
Oh no.
And the Path of Exile gang was like, no, stay away. Don't. It's no.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Cure cancer, don't. Like,
I
no.
was afraid that you were gonna ask me that question. So what would you say to an interested player?
Yeah, what would you say?
I mean, Path of Exile in its essence is a fucking genius game. It's 10 out of 10. Really good. Cool, awesome, epic. But for me personally, I just got tired of it. I mean, I don't want to put it on blast because I do not... How should I say it in words?
You can draw a picture if you like.
So imagine there's a mommy and a daddy shark. No. Baby. No. Stop that right now, Ray. Okay, I will.
Right.
I'd say my feelings on the game are purely personal in that sense that I don't really feel that the game has been ruined or some shit by some certain updates, because at least in the sub Reddit and from some other friends or acquaintances, there have been some notions that the game is actual shit now. You can't do anything. It's all been nerfed, ruined. Fucking GGG, the company who made it, it's absolute hog shit. Don't do it. I'd say that a game itself, in essence, is still the same good old hack and slash ARPG, and you can still have a lot of fun in it. But there's also a lot of learning to do in there, to say the least, because there's a lot of mechanics. The passive tree is huge. There's a lot of skills. Basically, you have to have a Wikipedia open at all times when you're starting to like Google all the shit that you want to ask about.
So it's even worse than RuneScape, you would say.
I mean,
well, then again, it must be because the mechanics of RuneScape are fairly simple. It's just like you can exploit them.
Yeah, I guess the mechanics itself are simpler, but they are both quite complex games. And in Path of Exile, at least, there's like a campaign that you can go through that has like certain like checkpoints or like acts that like mark for certain that you have progressed from A to B to C to and so on. In RuneScape, you're put into Lumbridge and do whatever the fuck you want, I mean, there are like the combat tasks for the new players.
But that's a new thing.
You have requests and stuff that like guide you through some certain path.
But still, it's not linear at all.
Yeah, and in Path of Exile, the campaign itself is quite linear. It's still point A to point B, and after that, basically, the game itself starts. Which is a pretty interesting way to go about it, because for your average person, a game starts when you fire it up, right? In like Act 1. But like recently I like read somewhere that it's basically entirely it makes sense to think of the acts or like the campaign in PoE as like a separate introductory game to the end game. So the acts 1 to 10 are basically your tutorial in some sense, which like takes tens of hours for a new player. So that's like the PoE a start or some shit, and then the end game is the actual game.
All right.
So it has a pretty high entry. It has a pretty high barrier of entry, but the game itself still is still GG in that sense. But don't do it, guys. Don't
do it. That's what you were gonna.
Please don't do it. It's gonna rob your life instantly. It's gonna break your marriages, steal your kids, your time, your money.
You know, I saw a comment. I saw a comment on, like real life Ironman forum, like the sport, the race Ironman, and it was the comment was that, well, 6 months and 1 race, and I am still married. Apparently, I didn't train hard enough. All right. I feel that's kind of what you were going towards with the PoA.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, yeah, because it's the type of game that for league starts that are like the game itself basically restarts itself like every 3 months or so.
What do you mean restarts?
Like the so there's this like the overarching like standard game mode, which has other like your old characters and such, your old like inventory and stash, and that, like every 3 months there's like a league that has like a specific like a new mechanic or some shit, like new monsters and stuff. So it's like an expansion basically, like every 3 months, and sometimes the mechanics go over to the main game and stay for the future, and sometimes they don't. So it's basically a fresh restart for everyone after every 3 months or so. So the economy is new, the characters you have to remake, and so on. And it's the type of game that for every league start, people actually take out sick days. They take out their vacations. They send away their families.
Oh, wow.
Just for this. Like, it's interesting because the first like 2-3 days, or even like a week, if you're playing like Great League where you can sell your stuff, it's like somewhat important to play as much as you can in the first few days to set up your future league.
Oh, wow.
It sounds very weird. It sounds like very like I don't know, how should you put it? It sounds very insane, even I'd say that it's an actual thing. But yeah, people do it.
All right.
I've also done it to cancel everything for the first like few week of PoE, you know.
God damn! And every 3 months you go through the same thing.
It's funny because people actually live in the cycle of PoE. Like they measure their lives through the 3-month leagues.
Oh my!
So they fucking schedule their like vacations and shit, and a league start Fridays.
Wow.
Yeah.
They start on Fridays too.
Yeah, in the evening for us.
God damn.
Like 10-11 p.m. or something.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah, because it's a New Zealand company and game. So for them it starts in Saturday morning. In the States it starts like in the evening 5 or some shit. Oh no, I might have given too many hints where we are. So by episode 10,001 we might have people who...
I have guessed it already. We don't even need a reveal.
Oh shit.
Ah.
Oh yeah, anyway. This has been a been a really long rant about PoE being the
No,
best, being the best and the worst game ever made.
So, in general, you would say not to pick up the game.
No,
No.
the opposite. Do it.
Oh, do it. Okay.
Do it, but with a few caveats, you know.
All right.
Just be very careful what you wish for, you know. If you like Diablo-like games, so ARPGs and stuff, if you were a fan of like Diablo 2, 3, even 4, then you will definitely enjoy PoE as well.
All right. And your experience with PoE, is it comparable to OSRS, or is it... where do you have clocked more hours?
I mean, by now I'd say they're both on par, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even RS with the past hours even has more.
All right, so I'm not gonna...
Too many hours.
Too many hours?
Don't say anything. As we have mentioned, we could have done so much else with that time, but then again,
No, man.
it's been a blast. So
It has been a blast. It really has.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you haven't played like Diablo at all, or?
I think I played it at a friend's place once, and then all I remember is I don't even know if it's the same game. I remember you had like angels and demons or vampires or some shit. Is it the same game? And it's not the same game.
I mean, they do have angels and demons in Diablo.
But is it what like you could either pick to be a vampire or like a vampire slayer? No. Kinda. Then maybe that's the only thing I
mean,
remember. Like really,
there are different like character classes in Diablo that you can be like a paladin, a sorceress, an assassin, a necromancer, an Amazon, a barbarian,
Brazilian,
German, anything you like. You know, there's a few classes in there. Yeah.
But no, man, I haven't played it. No, OCRS is sorry.
Oh, say, can you see?
OSRS is the only kind of multiplayer thing. Oh no, I'm lying.
Oh no, he's lying.
I did play right when on my first computer with a big kind of what did you call them? Like not the flat screen, but the
CRT monitors.
The big ass monitor that weighed as
CRT,
much as your kitchen.
Yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. So on that, I got a CD disc with a kind of it was a primarily campaign-based solo game. It was a first-person shooter. It was kind of a war game, kind of like Afghanistan or something. Don't remember the name. It was definitely not well known. It was just a random game.
Medal of Honor?
No. It was
That's
random.
well known though. So
Yeah. It was a random game. Someone like my dad picked up from like whatever like random store, and then he left me.
Here, have this random video game.
Bye.
See ya, nerd.
Noob.
And then he went to war.
Yeah, he went to get some cigarettes, and he never came back.
As they usually do.
So I have a really fond memory of it was I could have sat on the disc for a few years, and then I finally played it.
Like
literally, it was warm by the time when I finally inserted it into the. So my mom went to I think it might have been Netherlands, and she came back with a bunch of very kind of weird ass candy, but it was kind of a
weed candy, huh?
I wish it was.
Mom, why am I feeling so dizzy?
Why?
You're fucking high, son.
Get used to it. It was a combination of like a I don't know if you say caramel candy, like a candy that's you don't eat it, you kind of just like
suck on it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. So that type of candy and like a Christmas candy was just a really weird candy for me. So my memory is of Christmas time, playing that game and eating this this box of
That's very
candy.
specific, yeah.
And at one point, I migrated to the online multiplayer version of that game, which was kind of like a really poor man's version of CS. It was kind of broke. Maybe I just sucked, but at that time, it seemed broken and kind of weird.
Wait, so it was like what was the setting in there? Was
Setting
it like
was real life war, like kind
a
of like,
modern war or like
yeah. Let's say the 2000 and I don't know 6 or whatever, like kind of pretty much modern war, yeah.
But how like modern were the graphics?
Not
or-
good. The graphics
What year was it?
might have been kind of the same time that Half-Life
2000
2, 2004, 3 maybe.
Okay.
But that's the thing, Half-Life. That's the thing about Half-Life. I digress, but I want to say this. During the time where I was playing some game with really shit graphics, Half-Life managed to kind of fool everyone with amazing graphics for the time. I'm not even getting into like game physics. Just the graphics alone still stand up. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings. They
still
were
do.
made during the Stone Age, and you still look at them and go, "That's fine."
I mean, of course, you can see how it has aged
But it's
compared to like
Sure.
modern lighting meshes and shit like that. But
you still can play it.
but it still holds up really well. I mean, it isn't jarring like the game is from the 90s. I mean, I also really enjoy like retro shooters and shit, and I do not care for the graphics because the game itself is so good, you know. But yeah, but Half-Life 2, that's fucking
That's amazing. That's
spectacular still.
It's a
Yeah.
milestone. So I imagine it was during that time, but it was definitely not. The graphics were not good. They were fine. I just remember like eating these candies and getting like shot within the first 3 seconds of spawning in.
Could have it been like Soldier of Fortune?
I don't think so.
Two.
It's that game that you're in a supermarket. Well, not nowadays, I don't think.
Yeah,
It kind of almost holds up, but let's rewind some 10, 15 years and imagine yourself being in a supermarket and just strolling around and seeing all those random ass games you've never seen before and you never will again. And they're picking one and going, well, that will fucking suit him.
Yeah, it has guns in it.
Yeah.
That's gonna work, you know.
Children love guns.
Love me my fucking assault rifles. Oh yeah, I give me my AR-15, and I'll go to fucking town. In the game, of course.
In the game.
In the game.
So it was that's pretty much my own, and I did play CS for a very limited time. But apart from that, I'm bleeding. CS.
Sounds dangerous.
I like online gaming hasn't been like a thing for me.
Bleeding and online gaming, a match made in heaven.
Oh, wow.
That's how it usually ends up. I finish a game of like CS and or Valorant and I'm fucking bleeding all over from my eyes, from my insides. I feel bad. I'm dying. But I had fun, you know.
It was worth it, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I got to spend quality time with my friends
You know,
and against other people who absolutely decimated me. But I mean, it's all in good fun, you know.
they taught you some Swedish.
That's how it was a very interesting medium to learn a language, you know, through
Imagine.
swearing and like CS callouts, like short and long and sight and stuff like that. I ended up like calling in Swedish as well. I was like, what the fuck am I? Why am I? Why? Like, I don't speak the language. Why am I even doing this? But it was the norm in that company, and I to this day still talk to one of them. So
You do? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So I basically made like a long time friend as well, which is nice. So yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Jävla helvete. That was the main main term used, which
Uh-huh.
which basically means like fucking hell or something like that. Whole Shafton is shut up, and
It got spicier, believe me.
yeah, I'm not gonna say the same very derogatory words towards certain genders and people, which were also used frequently.
No, I'm sure they were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
meeting new people and new peoples through video games. That's nice.
It is nice.
I mean, people scoff at like the like sharing is being like sharing being EXP waste or not just caring about talking to people. But sometimes, for me personally, it's just fun.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, like, especially after what you said, is that you didn't feel exactly fulfilled when you ended up maxing your account, did you? It was still kind of...
That's the weird part. Yeah, I mean, I did feel fulfilled, but then again, I felt a certain kind of emptiness. I was like, oh, now what? You know?
Yeah. So I think that just goes to show you that you can't solely focus on these productive goals and maxing and or whatever task. They're hugely important and they're a big part of the game, but you still need that little extra kick, that spice that is really independent of all the productivity and things you can control.
Yeah.
The interaction is still, especially in the beginning, like the early days, a huge part of the game, and I truly wish that it will continue on being so.
I mean, human interaction used to be a huge part of RuneScape.
Yeah.
If for like the GE or some shit, you had to actually talk to people to sell your shit and to make money, you know?
I've the only memory I have is just waiting and selling my coal and just
that godforsaken coal and then buying your own fools and dying in the wildy 10 times a day.
You know, I remember like when trimmed armor, like I'm no memory like when it was actually introduced, but I just remember that all of a sudden, instead of buying rune armor, I was buying trimmed armor. I have no idea. I didn't know if it had the same stats. Mm-hmm. I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that it was worth a whole lot more, and I was buying it.
I fucking need it.
And I died right after. And then it was...
Which, we probably have already talked about this, but which trimmed armor set do you like the most?
Gold. Gold trim.
So not any like... not like any like armors of the gods, like
no.
Samurok or something.
I think no. It was just trimmed. It was. I don't think like
just trimmed was like grayish, like trim to it.
No, I think it literally was yellow with a yellow trim, wasn't it?
That was a different thing. That was the old trimmed. There were two separate types of trimmed.
Go on. Refresh me.
One was just trimmed, which had like a grayish outline, and one was whole trim, which had yellow outline.
No, I think it was the gold one, yeah.
Yeah,
it was the gold one. But the stats were...
same.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But the odd armors, I think, had like a +1 prayer bonus or something.
I highly doubt, because I think it just...
At least nowadays they do.
I think in my head, I see the, let's say, rune plate legs, then brackets, and T, and that was it. So it must have been just like some...
So then it was just trimmed because...
No, what did gold one have?
G.
Ah, okay, then I'm blowing smoke in your eyes. Then it was just... it was
up my ass.
Up your ass.
It feels very hot all of a sudden, and very smoky.
Then forget everything I said. What I'm certain about is that it had the brackets and T, and if that was the case, then it could have been gold. It was the whatever the other normal variant. But I do remember is that whereas at first I didn't know like any of the specs, it didn't give a bonus. It didn't give a bonus whatsoever. It's just pure for the aesthetics. I didn't know why I wanted it. but I knew that I needed.
I just need to have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the regular trimmed armor has like a bluish gray tint.
Go
around
on.
it.
All right. That seems to ring the bell.
And then there's, god damn it, this fucking site. This old shitty fandom wiki came out, and this is G trimmed or owl trimmed.
Of that set, I might have had the kite shield, but definitely not the full armor.
So you had like a mix and match
Yeah.
situation going
Yeah.
on.
I think, and it just how I was introduced to the armor was that when I was selling my coal, and then later frantically typing like buying full rune, then the seller.
That was always frantic.
It was always frantic because it was so much stress associated with it. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna get it. Am I gonna get it?
I must buy it in a second, or I will be, or there won't be any left.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the market was very much more limited in that sense.
It was. And the guy selling it was like, hey man, do you want a trimmed version? It was like, fuck yeah, I do.
Of course I do. What? How much? Like 10 times more. Oh,
I have money.
I might not want it then. I'm sorry, Mr. Trader, but
I already have it. The rune is for my friend. I'll come back and
I was
then
asking
I'll...
for a friend anyway, so I'll see you in like 10 years. You know?
Then mining my coal.
I myself was partial to the Hathix trimmed rune armor, so with a green trim. That was my dream, and I think I managed to get like half the set or some shit.
All right.
Because it also costed like a few mil for the whole.
That expensive.
Because the Saradominus Hammerack sets were quite expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Hathix
think...
was the cheapest of them, but they cost over a mil. Yeah.
I'm fairly certain I never had a mill during my early years.
Yeah.
A mill was a lot. A mill was a lot.
That was big money.
Yeah. Inflation, man. Inflation.
God damn it. It all boils down to inflation and the economy being in absolute shambles every single year. In the past and now.
Yeah.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Wow.
The way she goes.
Way over the road, buddy.
Yep. So now what?
Do you have anything on your mind? I was going to think of another expression, but I couldn't. On your mind?
My mind is blank,
As is mine.
as it usually is. I think we have said some words that might have some meaning to someone somewhere,
Definitely someone and somewhere.
but not to us.
Not necessarily anyone listening.
Yeah, there might be some sense to them
In some context.
in some way, in some combination even.
Maybe if you kind of, do something with them, they will maybe make more sense.
Maybe if you put the letters and the words in like in a certain order, then they might spell out something useful.
Like Hail Satan, for example. If you listen to it backwards, then it's all gonna be...
Hail Satan and
Slayer!
and yes, Slayer, absolutely, and the Heron Pet
Iron Pet.
and 3-tick.
Manipulation.
Yes,
So, I really... Oh, since what you say, you were 30k or 30k fish from the drop rate?
30k fish fished.
Ah, so not XP.
No,
that would
no. That's
okay.
like an hour. No, my man, 30,000 fish.
30,000 fish. That's a lot.
I mean, if we do the quick maths, then that's like 50 hours. No? Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know how fast do you...
So if I take like 600 fish an hour hour, then 50 times 600 is 30,000, no? If my math is right.
Yeah, I have no math. So it's a number, definitely. And it's
That's
bigger than
2.
10.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, maybe by the time
Next time, yeah? Next time.
this day, it's happening.
It would have been so funny because we were fishing at the same time.
Oh yeah.
When I was learning my tick things, and it would have been the best if I had gotten the parent pet. Wait, I've definitely asked you this before, but I forget. What was your first pet?
That's a good question. I think it was the beaver for
Wood cutting, yeah?
wood cutting. Yeah, that's also a good one to have. One of my good friends, eldest, he is currently on the wood cutting pet grind, and he's also at like 22 mil or some shit.
Eldest, for reference, is the guy in our clan that when I got the Ernest the chicken, he was like, oh, big gains, man.
He is an absolute memer and mod at a video game. He has an Inferno cape. He's cool in game and in real life as well.
Do you have an Inferno cape?
No.
We're gonna get it next time.
Cool.
Next episode.
Oh, no.
Heron Pet, Infernal cape.
Jesus Christ, that's
Yes.
a tall order. And for you, we're gonna also get a pet and a cape, yes?
Sure, of course.
I really wish and hope that you get the pet first. It would be fucking perfect.
I would like a pet.
Poetic
would
even.
like a pet.
Please, Chagax, please get this man the heron pet here for me, please.
I would like a pet, but we'll see. I will continue on. I will try to learn the mechanisms of the granite grind. And then
I wish you good luck with that, my friend.
eventually I am gonna come around to the combat skills. But I think my main straightforward goal for next episode is to get. Let's see. What can I promise without looking stupid in a month?
That's a very
I'm gonna try.
dangerous
Well, I'm definite.
road, my friend.
I know. That's why I'm gonna try.
Make promises.
I am gonna try to. Well, I'm gonna 3-tick granite, and let's say mining 85. It's 81 now. Let's say 85. That's kind of manageable.
That's okay. I'll take it.
And yeah, I'm not gonna promise anymore.
I'm gonna promise that I'm gonna do my Hydra task, which I haven't touched for a while now.
All
so
right.
that's like 100 something kc of Hydra. I'll do it.
Okay.
And anything else is up to Jesus to fulfill.
Well, let's hope good RNG from Jesus.
Yes, sir. Take the wheel, my boy. Take it. Yeah.
All right. So this.
I guess we're slowly. This has ended. This has ended.
This is the end.
This is the end, guys and Pat. It's been a pleasure as usual.
As usual, always, right?
I like the change of scenery. It's been a nice breath of fresh air.
I want to say that I really do like that we haven't moved on to Discord yet, that we still continue to meet up, and it's just once a month. It's completely
I'd say that
manageable.
that this medium that we're both in the same place at the same time, that works better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the future we might
sure.
at least like try it out, you know.
Yeah, sure. But for now,
just like how it feels. But for now, this is fine.
that's completely fine.
It's doable. Yeah. All right then. What else there is? Any last words, Bucko?
Continue the grind and just remember to chat every once in a while.
Remember to be a human and stay frosty, Marines.
And call your mom, everyone, every month. At least every time you listen to this
Call your
podcast, just
mom,
once a month.
Call your parents, your grandparents. Just say something nice to them, you know.
Ask if they've gotten a pet.
Do you have a pet yet, Mom? Ray still doesn't. So, have you gotten any pets lately? Yeah.
And if you have what a fitting ending. The plane is flying overhead. If you have any, this is definitely too early, but maybe we'll see if we'll leave this let this pass. If you have any comments, anything you wanna reach out to us with, you can write us, you can email us.
We have an email, we have the YouTube comment section, and we'll also have a Q&A or like a question thingy in Spotify that you can answer and send answers to. And I think there's like a question or two at the last episode well.
It was. Because I'm not the one writing the questions, so I can say fully objectively that those questions were bitchin' or good questions.
Yeah, sure.
Good questions. So you can do that.
Yeah.
What is our email?
Recipe for disaster666@gmail.com.
So
all in one line, so no like underscores or dots or anything, just recipe for disaster666@gmail.com.
So that's recipe for disaster666@gmail.com. I feel like an infomercial.
Yes, sir. We take all offers. We can promote anything. Not really.
Not really, but we'll promise you
that we might read the email. Yeah.
Yeah, we will read the email.
Probably.
I bet there's like. Have you seen it recently?
No.
I bet there's just like a bunch of Viagra ads there.
Probably.
Probably. Sure.
Get big today. So yeah. Anyway.
It's been a blast. I'm Pat.
I am still Ray.
And it's.
I think.
I think so too.
I think we're the same people, but we have changed our pathways a bit.
Pathways of Exile.
That's a good one. Nice, Pat.
So I will hope to see you here with a harem pet next time, or there, doesn't matter. I will hope to see you with a pet.
That is yet to be seen. I sure hope so, and I also hope to see you real soon. So this has been.
You're gonna say again?
This has
been the 4th episode of Recipe
for
Disaster. I thought he was going to introduce us yet for a time.
So let's go again, guys. Woo!
And
okay.
See you in the 5th.
Toodles!